Good morning, good evening, good eternity to those with souls here. Your champion, God's champion. Hold on, I'm adjusting the colors. See my lips turning orange. Your champion, God's champion, your teacher, master student, master teacher, Galenius, Adam, the second Adam, Christos. I am here to lead, not to save, to guide and to teach and to remind and to show, to reflect. For who? The voiceless. I'm the voice of the voiceless. That is my assignment. And as a great artist once said, the honest voice of indignation in any man or woman is the voice of God. And it's true. We have been so mishandled and misled and misguided and mistaught and hurt on so many levels in this dream world. Thank God it's a dream world, because healing, just like we can get hurt in a dream, even though it's just a dream, we can heal in a dream as well. And that's what's about to happen. I am Adam, the prodigal son of God, one of many, the prodigal daughter of God. I'm a dark, divine, feminine being, and I've reincarnated so many times. This was my mission. This was my assignment for many, many of these lifetimes. It was all building to this. And there's much I need to convey. There's much I need to share with you and to enlighten you about. Because what you don't know, you don't know. Just as I didn't know so much for most of my life. I lived in a hellscape of silent desperation, like most people do. What is suppressed at first as children becomes repressed. It becomes repressed, and once it does, it goes into the shadow. It goes into a blind spot within the psyche of the mind. The unconscious, that's the shadow. The shadow is not our enemy. It never was. As a matter of fact, it's been protecting us. It's been protecting our whole self. The part of us that... The parts of us that exist, which we have never come to accept after we were forced and taught to reject them heartlessly as children, just by taking on the generational trauma and drama of our blood ancestors here in this life, our caretakers, our mishandlers, our abusers. They did their best. God bless them. But I am the curse breaker. Do you want to keep blessing? Do you want to keep calling them, good, telling them good job, or do you want to save the futures of your children? Do you want to protect what's left and change it all? Rewrite the story. Open the third eye to what's been going on around us for so long, for for so much longer than you know. This is the sixth son, the sixth race of humankind that has come to this point before nuclear winter. At the behest of the parasitic entities that control the leaders of the world, they're more than happy to reset the whole fucking thing. They'd rather sink the ship, than see humanity recover and take what's theirs and inherit the earth as the meek have become strong and are about to get a lot stronger. With me and fellow ascended masters and angels, we're going to lead. We're going to lead as needed and teach what needs to be known. My father and my mother were incredible spirits in a past lifetime, known as Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. I was their daughter, Sarah. They call her Sarah Tamar. And we fled to the south of France, from what I understand, where I'm venerated as a saint there to this day. But I'm the golden child that has been wiped from history, erased as often as they could. They couldn't erase all of it, which is why I've been able to connect with and recognize my own resonance in the beautiful histories of certain characters and individuals. Malcolm X, Khalil Gibran, Sekhmet, Kalinius now. And we're taking back what was always ours. What we only gave away, what was only given away by our consent. Just as a vampire enters a house only through consent, only from getting permission in the first place. We must protect ourselves first. That's how we can protect anyone else. We must learn to save ourselves, because Christ is already here. Christ has been here, assisting all of us in the spirit realm for a long time. Many of you already know this. If you wish to see him, see the physical manifestation of him, you will in the prodigal children that have awakened already, in the enlightened ones like myself, who know who they are across many lifetimes, recognize their own divinity and their own history to a certain degree. Enough. That's all we needed. We just had to remember enough, and that's been done. Today marks the day of human independence, because we are a human family. We are not American. We are not Japanese. We are not anything except a human collective consciousness, united by God's grace and God's heart, the one that he extended and shared with us. Everyone else is either a parasite, an NPC, or who knows. But discernment must be learned. Spiritual knowledge must be attained by each and every one of you if you hope to have any existence in heaven on earth, which is my timeline, which is where I'm taking my human family, the ones who have the heart and the faith and the ears to hear and the eyes to see. All of that. We need it all. Everything's on the table. All the iniquity that's been poured into us, all of the ways that we've been sabotaged and attacked and fed poison. Our children getting cancer from the poison that they've been fed deliberately. Our children being raped and sold as slaves, as we are slaves. Just as we are slaves, but even worse. the sex trafficking and the human trafficking world exists under the radar. And we're making a stink of it with this Epstein thing. We're finally diligent about this. And there's a great man on what was Twitter, now X. Thank you, Elon Musk. Another angel of a soul. Without him playing his part, we wouldn't be here. We needed every single person, every single miracle to arrive at this moment. But we're ready. I am the spark, you are the tinder. And we'll all be fine. We're going to burn what was the world we knew all the way through until there's nothing left but one phoenix rising from the ashes. Everything else will burn, and that's okay. Let it. Not everyone is meant to come through, to continue on with you. You must learn to discern what is safety among people, what is demonic possession, what is narcissism, what is energy, an imbalance of an energy exchange. When you always get a little bit less than you give. That's one clear way to know. The trauma bonds with our narcissistic partners. The ones that so many of us have had. Maybe a majority. They reflect exactly this. They reflect entities attached through puppets, through just sheer vessels. They're attached to them and using them in their unconscious, in their massive unconsciousness, to literally suck the life force. The life forces out of those of us with hearts and souls given by the wonder that is God. Like drinking straws out of our second chakra. You can't see it, it's the unseen. And there's been so much deception, even among all religions and almost every single spirituality. All it takes is one lie. All it takes is one untruth, one mislead of a sentence that you hold, of a sentence you held dear, to alter it from absolute truth that you can trust into a half-truth. But a half deception is still a full deception. A partial deception ends up the same. All it takes is for you to believe one lie, one untruth in this world, for you to be pulled out of heaven, pulled out of the Garden of Eden as Adam was, when he bought into the lie, when he bit into the lie of many things. We have been believing in so many lies. It's time for me to tell you what's true and what isn't. Starting with this world. This world is ours. We were given this world as to be the caretakers of. And it is an abundant world. God does not create lack. There's nothing here that is lacking. There's nothing here that is anything other than imperfectly perfect. There's order in the chaos, and either everything is a miracle or nothing is. And I'll tell you, everything is a miracle. Every incredible difficulty, every great difficulty exists for great reason and great purpose. And I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share my full story and my full the horror and anguish and everything that I've been through in order to learn what I needed to learn, to gain the autonomy, the emotional intelligence, to find that every room that I enter, I'm now I was the adult. I found out that I was the only adult in every room I walked in. To my gratitude for God and for all the souls and angels and masters and beings involved in helping me get to this place, but also great sadness for our children, who many have been already taken away, including mine. And not just physically, but spiritually, soulfully. We must avenge them by learning what it truly means to protect oneself. Just as a firefighter has his partner, and danger is all around. If his partner is in trouble, he must first make sure he must secure his own safety first. He cannot put his partner's safety above his own. It's not the protocol, and it's not the protocol in the fire department on a plane when they tell you to put the oxygen mask on, and it's not the protocol as a human being who has to defend himself against iniquity, against the adversarial prince of principalities that you're going to be so heartbroken before it gets better. It's going to get worse, because your eyes are going to open and you're going to see what you didn't want to, what we've all been, and including myself, we've all been willfully ignorant about, being bullied like never before seen, and just taking it on the chin as if we deserve it, based on the lies that they've told us are the situation. If this is an abundant universe, a fully abundant universe, and there is no lack, why are we all slaving away for money, exchanging our time and our precious resources, energy and time, trading it away for next to nothing, trading it away for what they print, like monopoly money? It is monopoly money to them. They don't give a fuck about money. They already have it. They control it. They've been controlling it for a very long time, paying both sides of almost every war, paying for, loaning, right, funding Axis versus the Allies. Every war. And when one of their constituents that they're loaning money to and supporting in one way gets too powerful and turns on them in some way, guess what? They just fund their enemies. Our Federal Reserve isn't even federal. How? We're not letting this, we're not abiding this anymore. Let's come together. We're coming together, whether you like it or not. If you're not part of it, then I'm not talking to you. I love you. And I'm here to love you deeper, to love you more, to love you clearer and openly and unapologetically, and to teach and to share and to tell my story as best as I know it. Because know thyself to know thyself is one of the greatest wisdoms God can allow us to gain. And And God is alive. God is alive. God is living, laughing, loving, and feeling perfect father and mother, after the ones that we've had, who we've made so many excuses for, and still, felt bad for disappointing them. We've had another one who has been so incredibly perfect in ways you don't yet understand. But let me just say that he's counted each tear. He knows how many tears have fallen from your eyes, and each and every heartbreak, and each and every triumph. And he wants a relationship with every one of you, every one of his children, who are all one. We are all one. There is only one being, and that is God. All else is an illusion. Only what is real is that which can't be threatened. Let me phrase it simpler. What is real cannot be threatened. What is not, what can be threatened, is not even real. Therein lies the peace of God. Because the Course in Miracles, that comes from, aligns with the Christos, with Christ, with Yeshua, with Mary, the masters and the saints. It aligns very well, as I understand it. But there's so much to know. There's so much emotional intelligence, information and skills and wisdom to be had to regain your autonomy, to heal from all the trauma and the wounds that we have suffered. And it's time. This is the good news. I know I'm being dramatic, and it's a bit heavy, but this is we've already won. I wouldn't be here if we hadn't already, in this place, ready to light your hearts on fire. As the voice of God speaks to me, I listen as best I can, and I share with you. I am a bridge among others, and I'm here to love you as God loves you, to reflect to you your own preciousness, your own divinity, your own wonder, and your value. You didn't set your value. You didn't create yourself. You didn't set your value. Your father did. Your mother did. That's something that you can't change. The prodigal son was surprised when his father put a robe on him and a ring on his finger. He really didn't believe, as so many of us do, that we're trash, that we don't deserve forgiveness, and maybe forgiveness, but we're not going to be exalted. We're not going to be loved unconditionally the way that prodigal son, that his father showed him. He still was. And it's just like us as parents. There is nothing our children could ever do to change our innate love for them, because it's not based on what they do, it's who they are. And don't confuse the shit that happens, the twisted nature of the world that twists and turns us and causes us to act out of that insanity, only to be judged, condemned, and put to death in so many ways by the system itself, which is a system of absolute iniquity. It's It's all around us, all the drugs, all the food, the Western medicine. I could go on and on for days, and I'm going to. I'm gonna be I'm getting some new service here today, and I'm going to start going live on the platforms that I'm on. Probably YouTube, because I have enough followers on that to do so. Gracias a Dios. And I'm gonna blaze a trail. I'm gonna blaze a trail through the heart of darkness, through the valley of the shadow of death, and you're going to be inspired. And I'm here to bring hope, not just to point out how the king is naked and he's got a fucking tail, and he has our children in the back room while we're like trying to pay bills, dying of the cancer, dying of all these diseases from the misinformation and the stuff that they've surrounded us, the fake, false poison that we've all been surrounded with, including, and this has been the last thing that I've struggled with, is lust. Lust has been the last demon that I face, and for good reason. And I'm gonna share all about it. I have nothing to hide. I only tell the truth to my family, because telling the truth is extremely important. It is. It's the red. Being radically honest is extremely important. The more secrets a person or a family has, the more twisted they become. Whether they're holding other people's secrets, or they're getting their children to hold new secrets, or there's all kinds of crazy shit that goes on with different forms of lying. But there is no white lie. There's no white lie. There's no need to lie so another person, won't dislike what you have to say. You tell the truth, simply, honestly, courageously, virtuously, the way you are built to, meant to. Just like if you could hear the animals talk, or the plants. Every child, before we teach it to lie, before we teach them to be the liars that we were taught is right to be, they only tell the truth. And what's another thing about children is that no matter how abused they are in their childhood, at all the stages of development that get arrested and twisted, and their minds become dissected and into a prison of its own, they always assume it's their fault. They never believe, or even want to believe, that the people that they love and adore the most, be they caretakers, grandparents, mothers, father, whoever it is, are the ones that hurt them the most, whether they liked it or not, which in some case they do have demonic parasites attached to them and operate out of that person's unconsciousness. Maybe not all the time. It doesn't take all the time. That's how it hides. It can pop in and out of any of their collective of parasitic entities just like we're a collective. That's how it hides so well. I used to call them turtle heads, these narcissistic types, because a turtle can pop into its own shell, and it's like the mask, you know. They're all wearing masks, whether the overt or the covert. And my mother, oh my gosh, I have a book coming out calling "Free from the Blood That Binds," and it's got a lot of good stuff in it, but a lot of my story and a lot of the damage that was done to me in order to arrive and be who I am today, to have healed and to know how to heal oneself and to teach another how to follow that lead, how to follow that path, that very narrow path back to God and into our highest timeline, creating heaven on earth, as was always meant to, as was always intended. But keep in mind, the Atlantean times, they didn't make it. Nuclear fallout, their technology superseded their spiritual wisdom, and they succumbed to the fear that our governments try to program us with against each other. It's a game of divide and conquer. There's nothing I'm saying here which hasn't been said before. I'm just someone who's like got all the pieces. I have all the keys. I know enough of what I need to know to share, to teach, to inspire, and to lead in many ways. And it's an honor of existence to do so. I was Sekhmet in Egypt, a goddess of incredible ferocity and unconditional love and benevolence towards humanity. And there have been many beings, there have been many gods and goddesses of the past who follow in this way. But I've reincarnated many times. My soul is 4 billion years old, and from what I understand, I'm from a future timeline. Because, as it says, it's fading. It's fading real bad. But it's with God. With God, there is nothing that is impossible. And it's time for y'all to know that. For many of us to share our experiences, our miraculous. Because as much trauma and pain and anguish and suffering that I experienced throughout my childhood and those days, I had so many experiences of incredible miracles, and that put me in a state of awe and humbled me to my core. It was a real balance and mix of divinity and hell, of heaven and hell, that was coming through the people that I loved the most. But I couldn't see that. I just loved them. I didn't know that on one side they were that God was nourishing me through them and grooming me, and that on the other side I was being fucked so badly. And I'm gonna share with you all the different ways that I was hurt and how to heal from each and every one of those situations. I am a shaman. I am a curse breaker. I'm the curse breaker, but there are others. And we're here. We're here to unite the clans, unite the tribes of the cosmos. So many souls and also animals themselves have come from across the cosmos to assist God with what is happening here, to assist humanity to saving themselves. Because it must be our choice. It must come through us. No one died for your sins, and why would you want them to, even if they could? I want to be responsible for my mistakes. I demand to be. I want to face the consequences for the wrongs that I didn't have the sense to know that I was causing, and I have. I have paid a high price in that regard. And it was only because I took responsibility. It was only because I vowed to God to figure out what happened to me. Figure out how I became the way I was. And this is at like 37 years old. I'm 41 now. It was only because I vowed that I would help myself. I would do everything in my imagination and willpower to help myself heal, so that all the generational curses and traumas that I saw had become full blown in my 14-year-old child, Tristan, Adam, and Kyle Ryland. Those seeds of pain, those seeds of all the stuff from their mother and father, all the sins of the mother and the father are visited on the children. We've been going about so many things so wrong because we've been listening to people that have called themselves our leaders and who've controlled so much of every system that they can totally set every narrative. We must take our children back from the education system as well. We can educate them far better than they've been doing. And we want to raise them in the first place. They've taken our children and they've been raising them. And here in San Antonio, Texas, they've even got like all these initiatives and everyone's all happy and shit. Oh, pre-K for SA. Oh, give our children away even sooner. Fucking insane. And when your children don't even know you, you only have yourselves to feel responsible for, to find and give that responsibility to, because and saying, oh well, if the government made me do it, or everyone else does it, that's not good enough. It's not good enough, because they get hurt regardless. Just because it's the way of the world, the way of this wicked world, doesn't make. Be the one to say, you know what, no fucking way. No fucking way. I'll be the one to stand out, to say no. In China, they say the nail that stands out gets hammered down. No. Don't believe it. Not when God is your father. Not when you have faith and you have an immortal spirit and soul, which we do. Fear is an illusion, false evidence appearing real. But start with faith. Try faith. Try that mustard seed of a little faith, and take that step, that leap into the seeming abyss of hope and goodness, and and the heaven that we truly wish and intend and will create on earth. And we'll meet you there. From the pit to the palace we go. The meek have become the strong. And he and she, like myself, that was last, will now be first. On everything that is holy and sacred, that I hold dear and precious in existence. I swear it. I love you all. My human family. I've gone through hell for us. For God. And it's been worth it. It was really fucking painful, but it's been worth it. So let's not waste this opportunity, which we can't, because what's meant for you, you cannot miss what's meant for you. And there's another thing I want to tell you before I go. You're not late. You're right on time. Don't let them convince you that there's not enough of anything. There's not enough water, there's not enough love, there's not enough food, anything. Because those are all part of the lies and the illusions that they have used to keep us slaves. And all we did wrong in a way was believe them. But it's the bully lesson. This is the bully lesson. And everyone who's faced a bully and overcome the bully in school or wherever knows that when you've had enough and you fucking stand up to the bully in your autonomy and you say, I'd rather die than let this continue. You know what happens. They go on, they go off, they cower, and they go off to find a weaker target because there's nothing to them. They are shadow, as we are the light. This is duality, and we could not have good without evil. So there are many mysteries still to be explored and explained, but I'm a wealth of knowledge beyond. Something is burning.